So we are going to be using Google Calendar as we stated earlier, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know. First of all, we're going to go through all the buttons you see here. This is the Google Calendar interface, and let me start from here. So now we have like a mini calendar here. This is the big size here. Then when you scroll down, you're going to see calendars that you have been added and the one you created. Like I said earlier, I'm going to show you how your clients can add you to their calendar and then how you can be able to book appointment, event, and create tasks for them here. So you can see as a Nigerian, we have holidays in Nigeria, which comes automatically. But if you don't want it here, there's a way you can remove them. Okay, you can remove them. So I have birthdays, we have tax, and then this is my own personal calendar. I can be able to edit and just set up everything I need to. I'm going to show you everything, don't worry. So I can say that since I'm a pink girly, I can go for either of these colors. So now, like I said, you're going to see a small calendar here and the big one here. Then we have GMT plus one, which is your current time zone. Do you know you can add other time zone here? Yes, you can add another time zone here. So if you have your personal calendar and you have clients you are working with, you want to be able to meet up with tasks and everything, you can create their own time zone here. It's going to come up here beside your own time zone. That way you can be able to monitor time and everything you are doing. So aside from other tools you can use to check time, word clock and all that, you can do it here on Google Calendar. Sorry about that. So now this button here is to create events, create tasks and appointment schedule. One thing about appointment schedule, you are limited because it requires like the premium version to create more appointment schedule, to schedule more appointments. So, but for event and tasks, you can create as much as you can. So now let's go to over here. We have these options here where you can view your calendar in different view. We have the day, we have the week, we have the month, we have the year, we have according to schedules. Because when you start creating event tags and everything here, you can be able to view them according to schedule. That way it's very easy for you to see what you have on your plate. Then we have the 4 days. You can even extend these 4 days. In the settings, you can make it 1 week, 3 days, 2 days. It depends on how you want to view your calendar. If you want to view your calendar in the day view, you can see today is Sunday. If you want to view your calendar weekly, the one we had earlier, you can see the 7 days here. If you want to see monthly, you're going to see August and the whole of August here. So you can just quickly go to the next month, September, next month, October. If you want to view according to year, you are going to see the whole month here from January to December. That way you can be able to picture and see everything you need to on your schedule. Then you can see according to schedule you have made. So we've not done anything yet aside from the one that came with the calendar, which is the Christmas holidays and all that. If you want to remove it, like I said, you can always remove it. They just come naturally. Then you can view according to 4 days, just 4 days. Like I said, you can extend these 4 days in the setting here, which you are going to do. So it's just a whole lot. If you want to switch to tax, maybe you created tax, you can switch to tax. If you just want to switch back to your calendar, you can do that. So now one thing about Google Calendar where you can schedule tax, you can be able to create tax. Maybe you have different things you are doing in a week. Maybe you want to be able to attend a lesson, you want to visit someone, you want to call someone. These are tasks you can add to your calendar. All right, we're going to show you how to do all that here. So let's switch back to our calendar. Then we have other options here you can just go through. All right, so let's quickly show you something here. if you want to create a new calendar, let's say you want to create a work calendar, because your work calendar is different from your personal calendar, it is not advisable for you to combine them both. So you click on here and create a new calendar. You can decide, okay, I want to create a calendar for my VA training. I'm trying to become a virtual assistant. So I want to be able to create a calendar so that I can be able to meet up with every live session and every important date. So I'm going to name this my VA training classes. Okay. Description, you can add description, whatever description you want to add. I am currently, I don't want to waste too much of our time, so I'm just going to just write something random. I'm currently learning how to become a VA, and I want to meet up on all activities. So because in our VA trainings, we give you assignments, projects, and then we have live sessions too. Okay, we have live sessions too. Don't mind Grammarly. So now this is your time zone. All right, we are going to be working with this time zone. This is our primary time zone. If you are in any country, you want to use any country's time zone, that is fine. So now I'm going to create this calendar. All right, so it's currently loading. I have created the calendar. I can decide to configure it and add any other info. Okay, so we're going to scroll down and see other things we can do. Make it public, which is if you add anybody to your calendar, they can be able to see it. All right, so I'm not going to do that. It's personal. So now, if you want to be able to share your calendar to your VA, or you are a VA and you want to be able to teach your clients how they can share their calendar so you can help them to manage it, there are two ways. You can either share this link to them if it's an event and all that. So making your calendar public will make all events visible to the world, which I will not advise if it's like a personal thing. Okay, so you can share this link to them to have access. With this link, only people you allow can access your calendar. So now, let me show you. Click on this add people and add the email of the person you want them to have access to your calendar. You can add as much as you can. And then this is the permission here. This is where everything gets really important. Do you want them to only see free or busy schedules? Do you want them to see every event on the calendar? Do you want them to make changes to the event? Do you want them to make changes and manage sharing? So, in your own case, if you are sending this, if you want your virtual assistant to help you to manage this, then go for make changes to the event. That way, they can be able to create events for you, give every details. And if you also want them to be able to share it to someone else, you can do this too and click send. Automatically, you are going to get that email to accept this permission and the request. And that is how you can share your calendar to your VA. All right. So the next thing is to go through your other settings. So if you want to be notified for a particular meeting 30 minutes before the meeting, if you want to be notified days before the meeting, weeks before the meeting, hours before the meeting, all that can be done here. You can even add more, so that if you want to be notified 30 minutes before the meeting, you can decide that I want to be notified 24 hours before the meeting. So I'm going to put 1 day before the meeting. You can add as much as you can. Then another thing is the notification of the event. You want to be notified once, or you want it to be reoccurring. Is it all the event you want to be notified in the same period? All these are what you can do under the notification area. So this is how you can be notified. Email, 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 email. If an event is changed, they will send you an email. If they cancel the event, they'll send you an email. If they responded that they've accepted the event, you can send you an email. If you receive a daily email with agenda for this calendar, they will send you an email. Okay? So this is just practically everything you need. And then if you want to delete your calendar, just come at the that is the last option. You can delete or reset every settings you have done here. So this is everything you need to know about customizing your own calendar. Okay? So now when you are done, you are then going to go back here and everything will automatically save on its own. So we have been able to create our new calendar, which is the VA training class. So that is what we are going to focus on. So when we click on this, let's uncheck all this. If we uncheck all this, the only calendar that will be showing here is for the VA training class. All right. So if we are scheduling meeting, we just want to see anything about VA training class, so we don't get it mixed up. So the next thing now is to create an event. So when we click on this, we click on create an event and then add the title of the event. Let's say we have our live session for VA training. Then the next thing is the time. All right, very, very important. Now here is where it gets tricky. Remember, let's say you are doing this for a client and you want to be able to schedule this according to their own time zone, not your own. Go straight to time zone first. Go and set their time zone first, because you are doing this from your own time zone. So you need to set it at their own time zone before you start setting it. So when you click on their time zone, let's say this individual is from, I'm just going to use anything here. I want to use something, let's say, I'm looking for the US. Let's say we're using Pacific time zone, or we can go from, okay, no, I don't want this. Sorry, I like to, just because I'm used to working for a US client, so I like to, you know, and my eyes are just, you know what? Let me just choose, okay, I've gotten it. This. So we're going to click on OK. So we've set the time. So now let's say this meeting is scheduled to be on Wednesday 20th and the time is, let's do for morning. So we're going to go for um 9 a.m. Okay, 9 a.m. And let's say it's going to be a long event. So we're going to end this event for 2 hours, 11 a.m. according to this time zone. Now, if you want this event to repeat, you can put it, maybe it's like a recurring event, weekly event, monthly event, you can set it. But if it's not something that is recurring, please click on do not repeat. All right. Then when you scroll down, you can then add who you want them to be part of this event. So one thing about Google Calendar, you can set if you want to be using Google Meet, or if there's an alternative that can be done during the description area of this event. I'm going to show you how. So you can add the description or add any document you want to add to this meeting. So if it's like a Zoom call or a virtual meeting, this is where you add every information you need to here, including documents and every necessary things they need to have for this meeting. So when you click on more option, this will give you hands on everything you need to do for this meeting. So if it's like a Zoom thing, you can just leave it as it is. But if it's like a physical meeting, this is where you can add the um info. So let's say this meeting is holding in New Jersey. So now here you get to add the information of this meeting. So aside from the location New Jersey, that's where the location is, we're going to add every description. You can attach link here. You can remove any formatting. It depends on what you are copying and pasting. You can underline, you can add documents from your Google Drive. There's a whole lot of things you can do right here. There's a lot of things you can do right here. You add your description, then you add your guests. Who do you want them to be part of this meeting? Let's say we want Esther to be part of this meeting. Okay, you can add as much as you want. What do you want these guests to do? Can they invite others? Can they see other people in the event? Very important. If you don't want them to see others who are going to be attending this event, please don't tick it. If you want them to change this event, please you can tick it. So there are just a whole lot of things. So I don't want them to see guest list and I don't want them to invite others. All right. So do you want them to join with Google Meet? If you don't want it, you can always cancel and then add your description and add the link to where you want this meeting to be held. Some people prefer Zoom. Some people prefer Microsoft Teams and other video conferencing tool. So now we are done. We're going to click on save. Would you like to send this invitation emails to Google Calendar guests? Don't send, because I just did like testing. They should not go and send Esther email. So now look at it here. This is our event. Why is it showing 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. when we set the meeting for 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.? That is because 9 a.m. in the in USA, which is Los Angeles, is our 5 p.m. here in Nigeria. So it will not be the same. I see that a lot of people get confused about this particular thing over and over again. So I'm going to still explain. If it's currently 5 p.m. here in Nigeria, that means over there in Los Angeles, it is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, I just hope so. Over there is their 9 a.m. So it's definitely going to show in your own time zone, but in their own time zone, it's going to be showing 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And that is how you set an event. Every information has to be correct. And for those of you that keep asking, how do I want make my events look bigger? Sometimes you see something very long, sometimes you see something very small. The um hours is what determines the size of your event, scheduling your event, how it looks like. So if it's like a longer duration, it's going to be very long. So I want you to get that right. So we've been able to schedule events. You can schedule appointments. You can schedule appointments here. Appointment duration, is it a weekly something, and every details here. Very easy. Like I said, you are only allowed to schedule one. You have to pay for the others, premium. You can schedule tasks. Like I said, if you have something doing, okay, call grandma. If there's any necessary description, call grandma. Okay, tell her to visit Dr. Ene. Alright? This is a tax and it's my tax. Then click on save. So if you are doing this for your client, just know it's going to appear in their own time zone. Alright? So they should know that they are supposed to call grandma 5 p.m. Alright? It's under tax. So if you want to delete, if you want to edit, you can always do that. And if you have called grandma, you can just mark completed and it's going to show this way. So that is how you create tax. So tax is different from event and appointment schedule. So most of the time we use the event to schedule meetings and do so many other things. All right. So now let's go to the main thing, which is the settings of our calendar. I want you to see a lot of things. Like I said, I'm going to show you how you can add an extra time zone here, just in case you have a client you are working with. So let's click on settings, and then this is it. All right. So this is the general settings. Remember the other settings we did and customization we did was for just one calendar. Now this is the general setting. We have our time zone here, which is West African time zone. So let's say we want to display another time zone. That is what we call the secondary time zone. Where you are located is your primary time zone. So we're going to display the secondary time zone here and select the time zone we want to display. So as usual, we're going to look for the US time zone, which is the Pacific time zone. All right, click on it, and then we are going to scroll down. You can decide to label it. Maybe you want to label it according to your client's name or their business. Let's say we're naming it according to their business. So we're going to go for Avga. So now we are going to go down and show word clock. So where we have the calendar, which is a small calendar, we have something like word clock that shows time of different time zones. So you can decide that you want to have the word clock and then add the time zones so that you can be able to see. All right, so that you can be able to see the time zone, the time of your other time zone you are working with. Like as usual, we are working with the US time zone, which is the specific time zone. So let's look for the Pacific time zone. Want to be seeing time, time. So let's quickly see what we can find. I just hope I find it quickly. I don't want to waste much of our time. Okay, we used the UK. So now event settings, the duration for events 60 minutes, for that is the Google Meet meetings, which is normally 1 hour. And if you are in the premium version, you can be able to extend your meetings. All right, so these are the settings. What do you want your guests to do? Like I said, make sure you check these boxes correctly to ensure you don't do a mistake. Then if you are creating your event, do you want Google Meet to automatically um um be what they call it, the tool you use for your virtual meetings? If you don't want it, you can always tick it out, but in this case I'm going to leave it on because I can be able to tick it out when creating the event myself. So do you want to be notified if the guest you invited responded yes or maybe? You can click on this so that you can get a notification on that. So now in your calendar, do you want weekend to show? Do you want to show that this event have been declined? Let it show. Do you want to show tasks that have been completed? Do you want to show week number, display shorter event the same size as 30-minute event? If you want to do that, that means every event you create are going to be in the same size. Reduce the brightness of past events, which means any event that has passed, the brightness will reduce. That way you know that this event has passed. So I will advise you to do this for you to be able to see through clearly, especially those of you that have a lot of events in your calendar. Then when do you want to start your week? Is it from Sunday? Some people prefer Mondays, some people prefer Sundays. You can choose whichever suits you or your clients prefer. Now the custom view that I told you you can extend from 4 days, this is where you will find it. You can see we have a lot of them here, from 1 day to from 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. You want to see your calendar in 4 weeks, 2 weeks calendar only, you can be able to do that here. Let's just choose something so that we can be able to show you how it works. So do you want to alternate calendars? We have the Chinese calendars, we have other type of calendars here, which is not really necessary until you need it. So there are a whole lot of other things, but these are just literally everything. You want to turn on offline calendar to be able to view your calendar when your internet is not on. Yes, you can do that here if you want. So with all this, we are done with our settings. We have the date format if you want your date format to be this way, anyway. We have the time format if you want 24 hours time format. If you want 12 hours time format, you can do all that. So we are done with this, and then we are going to go back. When you go back, it will automatically save. You can see it here, settings, save, reloading calendar to apply your changes. So we are waiting for our calendar to reload. So we have done like literally everything we need to do for our calendar. These are the settings you need to know and have for you to be able to schedule your meetings and every other thing in your calendar. Take note of the time zones, take note of the um dates, the time, and just literally everything when setting up your calendar or that of a client. So it's still currently loading, so let's just wait a bit. Scheduling appointment for your clients, please, I want you to take note of something very important. Remember that your client is your primary care, which means every decision you make has to be in their favor, except otherwise you are being given instruction to focus on any other thing. So if you are scheduling an appointment between your client and um his partner, business partner, or any person he wants to have a meeting with, remember that the time has to align. But if your client says, no, you have to prioritize this person's time than mine because I'm the one that wants to actually meet with him, I need to discuss this, then you should ask the person or their VA when are they going to be available, the time frame. They should give you like a gap. Let's say I'm going to be available on Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So which means anytime you choose among those time is fine by that person. So you go back to your client and tell them this person is going to be free from here, and your client say, okay, let's go with 2 p.m. And then you go back there and say 2 p.m. is fine, and they agreed. That is when you are now going to set the meeting and send. Now, if you are having a meeting with your client, and let's say you are online with them as taking notes for the meeting, and then they try to reschedule or something, you need to also get facts and details so that you can be able to reschedule. And while you are doing that, you need to check if your client is available for the time they are rescheduling this meeting. It is a lot of work. So when someone says they manage calendar, it's not as easy people think. It requires you to be timely. It requires you to be very focused and detailed. It also requires you to pay attention to details. So it is not something you just know and just do from the comfort of your home without taking proper details about that meeting. Because if you do anything wrong, you can, how do I put it? Let's say your client have an important meeting and you don't take proper attention of details. You schedule a meeting and your client miss the meeting, especially because of the time. And this is an important meeting that it took a lot of progress, a lot of work to set this meeting up. You messed, you've probably just messed up as a VA and you can be sacked for it. So you need to take proper time before you schedule that meeting. Ask the right questions before you schedule that meeting. So now the changes we made, you can see two word clock calendar here. So currently in the United Kingdom is 4:49 p.m. 4:49 p.m. Currently in the Goose Bay time, it is 12:49 p.m. Imagine if you have clients you're working with, you just want to be know have idea of how their time works, you can add them here from the word clock. Now remember that we added our time zone, extra time zone aside from the West African one we have. I'm going to show you that. But before then, the 2 weeks that I said, this calendar is just for 2 weeks. So let's say you have a program within these 2 weeks, you can book your event and everything within these 2 weeks and view only the program within these 2 weeks. So let's go for week. And you see in the week now, you can be able to see the extra time zone we added and the label we use, which is Avga. So you can see 12 a.m., 8 a.m. So this is how the time works. So if it's 5 p.m. in Nigeria, it is 9 a.m. in my client's country. All right, it is 9 a.m. in my client's country. So this enables me to be able to set up meeting and do my tasks effectively. So these are everything you need to know about managing calendar. This is everything you need to know. Knowing everything right will enable you to manage calendar effectively, like I just said. I'm practically repeating myself. So if you love this video, please don't forget to like, share this video, subscribe, drop nice comments, and if you want me to do other tutorial, please let me know in the comment section and I'll do it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.